Welcome everyone to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living's Wednesday night oasis. My name is Reverend Sally Bartholomew, and I'm glad you're joining us this evening for our Wednesday night oasis. Tonight, we start our Black History celebration, and we're going to have some wonderful speakers this month. You can see on the slide right now kind of a preview of what's to come for the month. It's going to be an exciting month, and we are glad that you are here with us this evening to kick it off. So let me tell you a little bit about Wednesday Night Oasis and what it is. It's an opportunity for us as a community to come together between Sundays to get our spiritual upliftment. Now, generally speaking, the Wednesday night speakers will follow on with the topic that was talked about on Sunday. And this last Sunday, our practitioner and ministerial student, Teresa Gardner, kicked off the talk title of Celebrating Life as Source. And we are in for some enriching discussion this evening, for we have practitioner and ministerial student Luchan to come in and continue that discussion on celebrating life as source. Our Wednesday night oasis is like a satsang service. And what that means is our speaker will speak for a little while, 20 minutes or so on the topic, and then they'll open up the discussion so that we can all become a part of this discussion. It allows us to go deep into the subject. It allows us to remain informal and interactive. It's a rich discussion, and we are glad that you are here with us this evening. So I'd like to take a moment to welcome anyone who is new to this Wednesday night oasis. Now, I see some new names, but I'm not sure if they're necessarily new to this community. Either way, I want to invite anyone who might be new to this community to navigate yourself to our website, www.oaklandcsl.org. And on that page, you'll see a button that says I'm new. When you click on that button, it'll take you to a place where you can give us your email address. And by doing so, we can then send you our Thursday Village News. And that will help you to get in touch with what's going on at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living in the coming weeks. Now, before we get started, I have some housekeeping notes. I'm going to look at my notes here. I ask that you mute your video cameras if you haven't already. It looks like most of you have. And you keep your voice muted during the talk. And then afterwards, when we're having our discussion, that's when you can turn on your video, turn on your microphone so that we can hear you ask questions and talk. Now, I do invite you to stay all the way to the end of the service, because I have some very special announcements to share with you at the end of the service. For now, I'd like to introduce our speaker this evening. He is practitioner and ministerial student Luchan Baker, and he is no stranger to this community. He has spoken on Wednesday nights many times, and we are in for a fabulous evening. I can tell you that much ahead of time before even hearing anything come out of his mouth. So right now, I'd like to invite him to come forward and open us up into prayer and then begin his talk. Luchan?
Greetings, family. We know that there is only one life, and that life is God's life. It is my life. It is our life. It's the life of everybody attending this service, everyone not attending this service. And so as we gather here now, we know that we are the source of our everything. We claim it, we accept it, we allow it to be. I bless this Wednesday night oasis. I bless this experience knowing that this is God's day. I give thanks. I let it be. Ashe, and so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
So I have to start this out on a truthful note. I attend this Zoom early, and I'm all juiced about my notes, juiced about the topic. And that's when our dear beloved Constance reminds me, yeah, just so you know, it's not the topic for today. And here's why that's funny. Because the topic of today is living life from the source. And if you know how our philosophy works, you know that there are no accidents, there are no coincidences. Anytime anyone comes to you for prayer, they're only coming to you for what you need to be praying for yourself. I find myself at a time in my life where I need to remember that it is I who am the source of my everything. I haven't been demonstrating that in my consciousness. I'm going through what's called a growth period. Here's another thing. So many people ask me why it's taken me so long to come to ministerial school. Here it is. Because I knew right away that as soon as you get into ministerial school, you get to get your growth experience up front and personal in front of everyone. They see you stumble, they see you fall, and you don't like it, and you get to be humble and just deal with it. I don't enjoy looking like a beginner, y'all. It's not something I enjoy doing. I don't. And just a little backstory on just how much I don't enjoy it. I remember going to a trip to Los Angeles with some friends. One of those friends was someone from my high school who was a few classes under me. I used to always make fun of him. I used to never really take him serious, you know, even though I respected him. It was always that little brother kind of attitude I had toward him. We end up going to a skating rink. And lo and behold, out of the four of us, I'm the only one who can't skate. And homeboy is skating very good to the point to where I was very jealous of him and felt really stupid because I'm the only one hugging the wall. And it bothered me so much, I actually contemplated getting undercover skating lessons just to redeem that moment. I do not like looking like a beginner. And I find myself in this moment where I get to grow and allow my family to support me. It's very humbling. And no, I'm not here to talk about my own experiences. It's not what I'm here for. I'm just only sharing that because I don't like talking about how this works and not demonstrating it from my own personal view. I just don't like doing that. So, living life from the source. And before I start with this awesome topic, we need to give credit and respect to Dr. Carter G. Woodson for Negro History Week, which is the reason why we now have Black History Month. I want us to celebrate this brother, remember this brother's name, especially his book, Miseducation from the Negro, amazing book that really changed my life. And I salute you, brother. And the reason why that just aligns with this topic is because what I've learned is whenever something bothers us, that's really our invitation to explore our greatness and solve the problem that is bothering us. And so Carter G. Woodson saw a reason for us to have a time and a focus for our story to be told as African Americans. He didn't complain. He didn't talk about how, oh, well, you know, the man is never going to let, he didn't do none of that. He said, listen, we are going to fight for this and it's going to be beautiful. Started out as a week, and now we have a whole month. And now we have people saying, forget a whole month. I'm just going to tell our story 365. But it started with the seed of this man saying, I will be the source. Now we know in the beginning there was God. Make it from a new thought point of view, we know there is no beginning. Everything has always been, always will be. That's deep. I love thinking about that. We can just go round and round on that forever. But we know that our foundation is the source, whatever we call it. So therefore, anything from that is only born from the source. And it's just like fire. See, it only takes a spark to burn down an entire rainforest. It only takes a spark. So that same flame, that same fire of God is burning within you right now. Those who control, physically control the masses, they don't want you knowing that. So I got to distract you with things. But let's just remember that you are already whole, perfect, and complete. You really are. Now, we all have goals and things we want, and that's fine, but you are already perfect without them. No degree can get you closer to God. No fly pair of kicks can get you closer to God. No Mercedes, no matter which class, can get you closer to God. No flat screen, no status, no title, nothing can get you. You are already an individual, perfect, whole, and complete expression of God right where you sit. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you have not done. You're already it. Now, as much as I love saying that, I also realize that that is not a comfortable thought for all of us. See, even though the truth is that you are God, you are the God of your life, look no further, nothing is coming to the rescue. You are the source that doesn't always feel empowering at first. That can be quite frightening. It's a lot of responsibility. That is a lot of responsibility. Wait a minute, I am controlling all this. That is frightening for many. I get it. This is why it's so much easier to look outside ourselves for our happiness. But I'm sorry. You are already one with the source right where you sit right now. It is so powerful that that's why the masses fight to control that. Please don't know your power. Look at this flat screen over here. Look at these trinkets over here. I do not want you. I need to control that. That's how powerful you are. Seeing ourselves as God is a frightening thing, but I am sorry, you are it. I love how God works. Lack and limitation are a myth. They're a lie. It's a lie. We have to be willing, regardless of physical appearance, to know that God is the only power in our lives, and we can never outgive God. God is unlimited. We activate the source within us from love. And there are only two vibrations, fear and love. So if we're not living from love, we're living from fear. I look at a lot of my homeboys who live that life, And part of that life is to never ever let anybody in. You got to have a hard shell. So me, my happy-go-lucky new thought behind, I'm always smiling at everybody because I live from love. And it makes them uncomfortable. Lou, why you always smiling at everybody? They're going to think you a punk. No, understand. There's nothing more gangster than love. If you really bad like you say you are, then everywhere you go, you have no reason to mean mug nobody. You smiling because you know you protected. I see everything as an extension of myself. That's how I try to live. Now understand, I do have fears. And when I'm faced with them, that's when I realize this is a humbling moment. But there is nothing more gangster than love. Love is what activates all power within us. The moment we look at the environment around us, the moment we accept what's going on around us and see it as a reflection of ourselves, that's when we're in the driver's seat. Now, I have that Oliver gene, which means I can talk way past the time I'm supposed to. So I'm gonna ask the question now. Who's ready to demonstrate that we live life from the source? Stop laughing at me, cousin. I see that. Who's ready? Who's ready to live life from this? Who's ready to demonstrate that that's how we live? Now, here's what's frightening. You don't have a choice. You're doing it right now anyway, whether you're aware of it or not, you're already doing it. But sometimes, because God is the biggest practical joker, we get to be awakened to the fact that we are the ones that is nothing but us and God co-creating. See, we think it's our job. We think it's our title. We think it, no. That's you and God collaborating, making masterpieces together. Who's ready to demonstrate? You know that job you have, you know, I mean, it's proud of it as you may be, and I'm proud for you. Please understand that that is not your source of supply. You do understand that, right? Like if you were to lose it, first of all, you can't lose anything that's yours. But if you were to lose it, that is not your source of supply. I wanted to be a quarterback until I realized what quarterbacks had to do. I was much more comfortable being a running back. I'll protect the quarterback. I'll do that. You want me to stand here and still look at the target while this dude who outweighs me by at least 2.5? No. And still throw the ball? No, I'm not doing that. You mean this entire team is weighing on me to win this thing? No, but guess what? You are the quarterback of your life right now. Yep, you are. And you are calling the plays right now as we go. Everything is a prayer. Every thought, every word, every emotion, every belief, you are praying as you go all the time, and the universe only knows one word. And the universe always answers our prayers. So when we look around and we see what we see, just understand, we prayed for this. No. Before you cuss me out, you can always ask for something different. See, this is where I learned about abundance. I'm always thinking about abundance in terms of money. Abundance, what? I don't have brand new Jordans on my feet. Hold on, Luchan, wait a minute. You never, ever run out of asking God for what you want, and God never, ever tells you no. That's abundance. Stop looking for a genie. That's only 3 wishes. You got God right here already telling you wishes your command. Now, who is ready to demonstrate that they are living life from the source? I got one more story for you. And then I want people to actually weigh in on this because this is on my heart. And I need to hear some stories about living from the source. My father is my hero. Anybody who knows me knows that's the truth. One thing about him, though, is my father has never really been a big, big on spirituality like I am. Well, on this particular day, I'm very, very angry, mad at the world, mad at the system, mad at the mad at the biased family court system that had me in a lot of pain at the time. I was angry, y'all. I was angry. And my father came to pick me up to cheer me up with a movie. Now, mind you, the worst job ever was, I won't say the name, but, this job was so terrible that when I see people who wear the uniform from that job, I have to say out loud, never again, never again. Yet, on this particular day, while I am broke and angry because I couldn't pay this particular bill because of all the bills that I was dealing with, my dad's just like, son, let's go see this movie, stop being mad. But something said, check the mail before you leave. And I look in there, and I kid you not, there's a letter that says that there was a class action suit against that very job that I said was the worst job I ever had in the world. And attached to that letter was a check for almost exactly the amount of the bill that I was mad about. When I say almost exactly, it was 1 penny off. The reason it was 1 penny off, because God knows that if the check was exactly what it was supposed to be, I would have passed out. So it had to be at least a little bit off. Oh, no. It gets deeper, because then when I told Dad the story and showed him the check, this man who I haven't even really witnessed pray before had tears rolling down his face with a big old smile. And all he kept saying was, thank you, God. You are the source. You are the source of everything. Luck is consciousness. Luck is a decision. Let's understand that. And you talking to somebody who was born the day after St. Patrick's Day. Luck is consciousness. You can decide to be lucky right where you are. Just like that scared little boy in the hood decides one day, I'm the baddest dude in here, and I bet you nobody's messing with me. He can just decide that. And trust me, everyone around him will wait. Hey, hold up. There's something going on with him, not him. Let's choose somebody else. You know what a bully does in a room full of bullies? He finds another room to go to. What if we all decided to live from our God self right now? It would force those who want to be bullies to have to do the same thing. Who's ready to demonstrate that they are living from the source? Who's ready? When I played Berkeley Cougars on Pop Warner football, they had to change the name to the Berkeley Junior Bears now. We used to play this game. Now, understand, when I played, I did not know anything about football. I was too afraid to say that I didn't know anything about football, because the environment was, you got chastised for what you didn't know in those days. It was the 80s. That's just how things were. So I was afraid to say I didn't know. And there was this one exercise we would do called the bullpen, where they put you in the middle and your teammates circle around you, and you're in full equipment. And you better know your partner's jersey number, because when they call his number from whatever angle, he's coming at you fast, and you better be ready. That's the bullpen. That's the bullpen. And understand, sometimes it's just your turn to be in God's bullpen. You'll be all right. All it's going to do is make you learn how to take a hit, and understand, as much as beautiful as this life is, you will take some hits. Makes you a better player. There's a bullpen calling your name. Who's ready to go in? Who's ready to clamp down on that mouthpiece? I know I'm talking a whole lot of Super Bowl talk. Please excuse me. I can't help it. But who's ready? Lack and limitation are a myth. Do not believe it. Don't. Money has the power that we give it. It's a decision. We are deciding to give it power, just like you get to decide whatever it is you want to have. Talk to God and nothing else. God will always tell you, yes, that's the only thing we need to be checking in with, and you can have unlimited asks. Actually, you get to declare. God likes it better when you declare things. That's abundance. That's abundance. Who is ready to demonstrate that they are living from the source? See, this is also a hip hop reference for me because I grew up reading the source. Remember that, cousin? When if you got 5 mics in the source, that meant something. Now they just give 5 mics away. You know, anybody get 5 mics now. Hold on. Remember that a 19-year-old dropout from Queensbridge Projects by the name of Nasir Jones got 5 mics in the source. He was a high school dropout. Why is that important? Because years later, Harvard gave him his own medal. They gave him the W.E.B. Du Bois Award. That's right, not his own medal, the Webb Du Bois medal for his work, because they felt like the way he has used the English language to inspire people was just so amazing. They had to honor him for that. That's what I'm talking about. That's all right. I'm on cue. See, the alarm went off. I was responsible this time. That's right. I'm not wasting nobody's Wednesday. I love y'all. Who's ready? Who's ready to demonstrate that they are living life from the source?
All right, so Luchan has asked the question, and I'm inviting you to chime in, raise your hand, turn on your video. Let us know who's ready to demonstrate.
And while we wait, I also wanted to shed light on Madam C.J. Walker, one of the first Black millionaires, just in respect to Black History Month. Just her story is just so amazing. And if you can watch it, there's a story on her. I think it was on Netflix. You know, this is a time where we were told that we were just supposed to stay in our place and not have dreams. And this woman created something that we still use today in our homes, and more than that, just really freed her family financially. So that's living life from the source. Who else is ready?
Amen. Well, I'm always willing to talk. As we always have something to say. Giving thanks to God, first of all, who's the head of my life and all of our lives. Giving thanks for all of the presence being here today, and being grateful for everything that we come against, that we run into, and that we step all over when we think we have circumstances that are holding us down. Because it is totally a mind thing, and everything starts with your consciousness. I have been unemployed for the last 3 years. No income, very minimal income. I'm not going to say no income. No unemployment, no disability, no income. But I still have a roof over my head. I still can get up every single day and say, thank you, God, for continuing to provide for me and allowing me to be physically well enough to help provide for myself. Totally could have been a totally different situation, because I could have allowed fear to take over my thoughts. And in turn, I would be in a different situation. But I actually didn't get afraid when I actually started going through this. I got a little nervous, but I just took a step back and just, Lord, please. Ooh, I know you're looking down on me. Sometimes you have private conversations with God, and I do this like all the time, out loud and in my head. And I probably talk to him at least 20 times a day. And I know he listens because I'm still here, still battling with my lupus And I haven't had very many issues with that either. We went through a whole pandemic, and by God's grace, I did not get sick, even though I had sick people around me. But that's just the power of my thoughts, knowing that I can control my outcome of everything with staying positive, staying, giving love, not hate. I'm always exuding love to anybody and everybody that I come across. And whether I know you or not, is happening. I just ended up going to Kaiser the other day and I saw this lady there, and she was going to get her blood work done, and so was I. And the person that brought her to the place was just dropping her off, which was really odd to me because she was going to get blood work and the lady was in a wheelchair. Clearly, she couldn't move on her own very well. She had some mobility, but it probably would have been very difficult for her to do so. Not saying that she couldn't do it on her own, but I'm sure that somebody assisting her made it 10 times easier for her to move around and move about and get her things done the way she needed to. So I waited with her. We both got our blood work done together. And then I walked her over to her next appointment. And when I got to the desk, the lady thought that I was her caretaker. And I explained to her that I wasn't her caretaker. I just saw her sitting there and I thought she needed some help. And I thought about myself in that instance, because if it was me, I would want somebody to provide help for me, or I would be grateful, I should say, if somebody were to provide me that type of assistance. So I think about other people in that retrospect. How would you feel if this was you? You know, and I think that a lot of people don't take a step back and look at other people for their situations. They always internalize things personally. They get personal about things. And it's not about being personal, you know, it's more of being individualized because we're all individual people. That's how we were born in this world, and that's how we were raised as individuals. So for me, I felt good because that definitely put a smile on my face. I wasn't having any ailment, no pain, no nothing, and I'm grateful for that. So to provide some help and assistance to somebody else that could possibly go through the same things that I go through, it made me feel really good to be able to help her out in that time.
Right. Thank you, cousin. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kitasha. Allie, go ahead.
Well, I thought of thought of two things. The first was something Eckhart Tolle said it was one of his books that stopped me when I was reading. It was sort of like, we're not here on this, physical plane to do anything. There's nothing we have to do. And Tasha explained exactly what he meant by that. It's like, we're just here to love. So it's like she said it better than I could have said that part at all. So thank you. The other thing I thought about was this, as we try to, come from source, living our daily lives. The other thing that came up for me was this kid's book, which some of you may know, it's called A Wrinkle in Time. So I read it as a kid, and then I kind of grew out of it. And then in my 20s, I saw some reference to it, and they were talking about a trilogy, and I went, a trilogy? So when I went and got all three of them and read it again, and the big life lesson I got out of that was that here are these kids, their father's been, I don't know, kidnapped, he's out in space somewhere, but they're like on this mission to go rescue him. And they're being led sort of by some sort of spiritual forces. But the main thing is they never know what they are gonna need to do except for the very next step. And they just have to take that next step on faith. And that really stuck to me. I think I didn't really understand it until I hit Science of Mind and started like a visioning practice. Because that's how I don't know about other people when you vision, but when that's the way it comes to me, it's like you get the next step and you're like, yeah, but how is that? And just do it. Yeah, but no. Just do this. And it always works out, but our brains hate that. So Anyway, living from source is scary sometimes.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Thank you, Alan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Allie. Scary, right? I mean, on many
Oh.
levels.
Lita, go ahead. Oh, you're plotting. Never mind.
Um, well, I know that God is my infinite substance, source, and supply. On no one else I need rely. And this is what I say. And we do have to call on others from time to time for assistance. And we ask God to show us that way for the assistance that we need, because God comes to us and through us through many channels, not just one way, many channels, many channels. I've had a tooth pulled a few weeks ago, so I'm lispy a little bit, but God comes to us through us and through many channels. And I know this, and God is always on time. I am going down a different journey these days. I call it a spiritual journey. It's more than a spiritual journey. And for me, I have to trust. I have to trust and know that God is right where I am and God provides for me. There have been times when it looked scary, and I just kept saying, God is my infinite substance and supply. And the supply comes, I'm provided for. And like Luchan said, he looked in the mailbox at the last minute. God is always on time, but God sometimes comes at the last minute. I forget how the phraseology goes, but God comes at the last minute, and we're lifted up. And each day I have to rise above circumstance each day. And I'm part of the Dr. Dan journey every day at noon, which lifts me up because we're in unity and community, and I am lifted up by each and every one on our Dr. Dan journey. I have friends and relatives who support me. I have a spiritual foundation of my own. I have a church called The Village supporting me. I have lots of support, and I support others. It's just, as I said, for me, I have to trust. I have to trust and know that right where I am, God is, and all is well.
Yes.
And I have to trust and know that I'm provided for always. I have to chuckle because sometimes I live in an apartment complex and I have really nice neighbors. And sometimes I'll find a bag on my door of fruit and cookies. And sometimes I'll find a can of soup because they know I don't have transportation. So when they go to the store, they'll bring me something. So God works through many channels, friends, neighbors, people you don't know. And the lady who shared her story, Miss Collins, I thank you. I support you. I've been in Science of Mind for years, since the 70s. Been through, I've had many ministers, heard many things. I'm still learning and growing because each day is fresh. Each day you may have a new idea, hear a new idea. Even though you may have taken a class 5 years ago, well, the same class is offered, but with a different instructor, different material. So it's still a learning process. I'm still learning and growing. And yeah, I'm still learning and growing. And I look forward to doing my vision board. I wasn't able to participate on Saturday, but I'll be getting my materials and putting it together. And it's going to be fabulous. It's just going to be fabulous. So anyway, I thank each one of you for what you said, and for Luchan and Reverend Sally. I'm just really glad to be a part of this evening. And I am a sage. And as I said one time in church, we sages took the AGE out of SAGE. So, so I think I'm complete. Thank you.
Thanks, Nita. Thank you, dear.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, Dorothy, go ahead.
Luchan, I just want to say thank you, sweetheart, for the lesson for tonight. And I know that you have given each and every one of us food for thought
Mm.
and words to live by. So thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
I'm complete.
Thank you, Miss Dorothy. I love our community, I swear.
And I want you to call me.
And I will.
Okay.
She doesn't know that she's my conscience. Whenever I think of doing something dumb, it's her voice I hear. Like, you better not. I'm like, all right, fine.
He's my son from another mother, okay?
But that's abundance. You know, that's what we have here. That's what we have here at Oakland CSL. We have abundance. Everything you need is right in this community.
Amen.
It's
Yes.
when we move our ego out the way, when we move that pride out the way and just ask.
Yes.
Let me tell you something about pride and the ego. It serves its purpose, but the one thing it does, it wants us to stay in its box. And anything that threatens you outgrowing that box, your ego is going to talk bad on. School, what you want to go to school for? Oh man, why you want to go to school? Oh, why you want to do it? The ego wants you to stay in that box. And we can't be helped as long as we put that forth. But when we move it out the way, we don't have to kill the ego. It serves its purpose. You just have to check it. Hey, listen, homie, I appreciate all that, but you need to just be glad I even brought you to church today. You can be quiet now. I'm about to ask my community for help because I am a child of God and I deserve the blessings that the universe has for me. See, when we do that, we get what we're asking. We got to move our ego out the way first. And this is me. Y'all know this is me talking to myself, not talking to y'all. I need to move my ego out of the way and ask. This is why Miss Dorothy told me I need you to call me because she knows I'm over here putting my ego forth and I need to cut it out. And I can't fool anybody. And that's why I love coming to my church home because y'all remind me, y'all make it safe for me to remember to be humble. There's nothing to put my pride out there for. What? You putting your ego out here for? You with your family. Cut it out. And I love y'all for that. I love you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you so much. How you doing, Reverend Sally?
I am not seeing any additional hands or people coming to the mic. Luchan, wow. You have done it once again. Thank you so much. Everyone, let's give him a round of applause. Giving him some love here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we do have some announcements this evening that I would love to share with you. And I was teasing about this beforehand, but coming on the air tonight, I have some breaking news. So Peter, if you can put up our first slide about Black History Month. The breaking news that I have this evening relative to Black History Month is that we will be doing, in conjunction with the Diversity Circle, Emeritus Practitioner Carmen West Jefferson, Deborah Jackson, and Crystal Fry will be coming together to help us to dive into the book by Sean Ginwright, The 4 Pivots. So this is breaking news. We don't have a slide yet, but know that it's coming up as part of our celebration of Black History Month. So this is going to be a fabulous month altogether. So in the next slide, thank you, Peter. This coming Sunday, we will have our senior minister, Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman. She will be launching the February theme, which is Curiosity as a Superpower, as well as launching the first Sunday talk during Black History Month. And her talk title will be What Lies Beneath the Surface. Meditation is at 10 a.m. and the service itself starts at 10:30. And then next Wednesday, February 8th, we have Emeritus Practitioner Dodie Cheney Fernandez, and she's teaming up with longtime member Deborah Jackson as they continue with the theme, What Lies Beneath the Surface. And these two mighty women are also the fuel behind our beloved Dr. Dan Journey for a Spiritual Living group, which meets every weekday at noon, and you are certainly invited to join us in that group. Wednesday night's meditation starts at 6:30 p.m. and the service itself starts at 7 by Zoom. Now, with all that has been going on in the world, the season for nonviolence is an opportunity to ask yourself, what are you doing to bring peace into your own heart and the world? You can sign up on the events page to get a daily reading and a download of the reading for yourself. And I will tell you that today's reading was about gratitude. And I am grateful to be going through this season of nonviolence with this group and this handout, this activity that I can use to anchor myself in the knowing of peace in this time of struggle in this world. So next we have CALM, the Compassionate Attention to Lost Ministry. It's meeting this Sunday at 1 p.m. on Zoom, not in the sanctuary. The theme is Love is Eternal, and all details on the grief support page under groups in the website. Our nonprofit partner for February is new. It's Abundant Blessings. We still have the barrel there in the social hall, and this group serves 12 homeless encampment communities in 6 Alameda County cities. And this month we're collecting sleeping bags, socks, water, baby wipes, contractor bags, masks, gloves, blankets, tents, napkins, plasticware, a lot of stuff. Gallon-sized Ziploc bags with the zipper so that we can keep these abundant blessings in there. So please fill the barrel to overflowing. Remember to sign up on the events page for the Women's Spiritual Empowerment Group that starts this Sunday, February 5th, from 12:30 to 2 p.m. in the sanctuary. Reverend Jerry is facilitating this group along with Reverend Catherine Sachs.
Right.
Now, in the bookstore news, we still have 30% off this month, but with a new focus. So check out the new books that are celebrating Black History Month. And we're also celebrating Valentine's Day by finding books referencing love or hearts on the cover or heart merchandise. And always, for information on all that is going on at the Oakland Center, please visit our website and sign up for our weekly newsletter, the Thursday Village News. And remember, you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook for special updates. and content that you'll find only by liking and subscribing to OCSL. Please like and subscribe to OCSL today. And as you see on the slide here, this is our contact team. These are the individuals that you can get their information from the website and you can reach out to them directly. So that's all the announcements for this evening. And now I'd like to take us into our conscious giving time. So the affirmation that we have for our conscious giving time is joyously I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
Amen.
And as Luchan was talking about today, abundance is God as our source. So there are 5 ways that you can give. You navigate yourself to the donate icon and it'll show you, you can give by credit card, by mail, by Zelle, by text, or you can bring your check or money into the offering basket on Sunday service days. So those are the many ways that you can give to the center here at Oakland. And this evening, I'd like to give some thanks. I would like to give thanks to our speaker, Luchan Baker. What a dynamic speaker you always are. Thank you. I want to give some thanks to the Zoom team behind the scenes, Peter and Alice and Sabrina and Constance. And I want to give some thanks and love to our senior minister, Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman, who helps to make all of this possible and has gathered together some powerful speakers for us for this month of Black History Month. And so now I'd like to turn it back over to Luchan for our closing prayer.
Continuing in this consciousness of abundance, we know that God is the only source, the only power in our lives. And so we allow this to be expressed. We put this forth. We know that the life we live, we are living from the overflow of God's abundance, allowing it to supply all aspects of our lives. So for this and so much more, I give thanks, knowing all is well, all is prosperous, all is abundant. I release and I let go. And so it is.
And so it is. Amen.
It is.
Amen.
Dang.
Thank you, everyone.